Okay.
Over to you.
Hello, good morning, everyone. And thank you for joining us for today's episode of Speak with a Diplomat. And today, our guest is Shaun Gavin, who works with the US Embassy in Abuja. We have people from across the country, our American spaces in the Lagos region and also the northern region. So thank you everyone for joining us. And I hope that today we're going to have a very interactive session with Shaun. My name is Grace Lamon. I work with the US Embassy Abuja as the American Center Director. So I'm going to read Shaun's bio for everyone to get to know him before he speaks. So Shaun Gavin currently serves as the Senior Advisor for the Bureau of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs at the US Embassy in Abuja. He started his career with the Department of State Bureau of Diplomatic Security in 2003. Shaun comes with a wealth of experience, having held positions such as Regional Security Officer at US Consulate Surabaya, US Embassy Maputo, and US Embassy Khartoum. Notably, he has earned awards for his efforts in cultivating relations with the Sudanese government during his tenure in Khartoum. Shaun's leadership during the Ebola crisis in Nigeria also earned him another Superior Honor Award while serving as Regional Security Officer at the US Consulate in Lagos. Additionally, Shaun's diverse career includes role as supervisory special agent at Miami Field Office, then as deputy branch chief for contingency planning at US Embassy Baghdad, and supervisory special agent for overseas criminal investigations at US Embassy Manila. Remarkably, he led a global child exploitation ring investigation, earning further accomplishment. Before his tenure at the Department of State, Shaun served with the Baltimore County Sheriff's Office, reaching the rank of lieutenant. He also served in the US Air Force. And finally, the icing on the cake, Shaun holds degrees including an Associate of Science in Allied Health, a Bachelor of Science in Business Management, and a Master of Science in International Relations. He is a graduate of the US Air Force Senior Non-Commissioned Officer Academy. Shaun is a native of Brooklyn, New York, and he's married with 6 children. Wow. Thank you very much, Shaun. So I'm sure everybody is excited to hear from you. And so today, Shaun will be talking about fostering unity in diversity, which is a very important topic, especially for us Nigerians. And we want it to be very interactive. So for our audience, we'll give Shaun some time to talk to us on this area, and then we can ask him questions. He's also going to be talking about some of the things that he has done, places he has worked, and also his time here in Nigeria. So over to you, Shaun, and thank you for coming as our guest.
Thank you very, very much. It is an absolute honor to speak with all of you today. I'm very, very deeply honored. And as Grace said, I want this to be an opportunity for us all to dialogue. I don't want anyone to feel shy. Ask me any questions that you may have, whether it may be about America, whether it may be about my experiences living here in Nigeria. I want everybody to feel free and relaxed. And I don't want anyone to feel shy today. So I want you all to ask anything that you wish to ask me. I really wanted to briefly discuss my topic, that is fostering unity amidst diversity, because what I'm really looking to do is just establish some dialogue. I don't want to spend a lot of time talking at you. I want to spend time talking with you all. So as they said, my name is Shaun Jamil Gavin. Um, as an American whose ancestral DNA roots are here, right here in Nigeria, Again, it is an absolute honor for me to speak in dialogue with you all, such a distinguished group from around the country and all the various different states. As a human family, we live in a nations that are blessed with a multitude of tribes, ethnicities, religions, ancestries, and languages contributing to the rich tapestry of our cultural heritage, as in the case with Nigeria. However, diversity has also been a source of division, often intensified by historical legacies. Our shared history teaches us the importance of unity. When we to come together as one people, we can achieve greatness. The success of the Black American civil rights movement was a great opportunity to show when people transcended their differences to fight for equality, almost serves as a really good, powerful example for all of us. Similarly, nations like Rwanda have shown us a transformative power of unity. Rwanda has focused on removing tribal and ethnic divisions and building a strong Rwandan identity that has propelled their nation towards remarkable progress and stability. As a diplomat whose mission is to promote and facilitate peace, cooperation, and development, I have seen firsthand that unity is synonymous with success. In Nigeria, we must celebrate your rich religious, ethnic, and cultural diversity while forging a resilient collective solidarity. Diversity is not a weakness, but it is a strength. It is a source of creativity, innovation, and resilience. By embracing our differences and working together to continue building a Nigeria that is united, resilient, peaceful, and prosperous. The motto of the Nigerian coat of arms, unity and faith, peace and progress, is more than just words. It is a call to action. To achieve unity, we must all cultivate faith in each other, believing in our shared destiny as a human family and sons and daughters of the continent. We must promote peace by engaging in dialogue, understanding, and reconciliation. And through unity, peace, we can achieve progress, creating a future where every Nigerian, regardless of their background, can thrive. Let us take inspiration from the world, where others have demonstrated that collective unity and social responsibility is the bedrock of progress. Let us commit to fostering unity amidst our diversity, celebrating all of our unique cultures while building a strong Nigeria and world. By doing so, we honor our past, enrich the present, and secure our future. In closing, I urge all of you to remember strength lies in our unity. Let us rise above our differences, emotions, embrace our shared identity, working together towards an African continent where unity, strength, and faith, peace, and progress becomes not just a slogan, but it becomes the order of today. Together, we can support and build a nation that stands as a beacon of hope, stability, and prosperity for all of its people and the continent and even the world. Thank you so much. And again, as I stated, I really want us to all have a dialogue today. I want us to have a great discussion on how do we not make just Nigeria better, but how do we make the world better, starting with each one of us. So Grace, I will turn it back over to you. And thank you all so much for allowing me just to say just a few brief words. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Shaun. Well spoken, and very insightful. Um, speech you made there or remarks. And before we receive some of the questions from the guests, I would like to ask you some few questions as a
Sure.
diplomat, just to allow our guests really understand your role and the responsibilities that comes with being a diplomat. So not really going into your work, but we like you to share your personal journey towards becoming a diplomat. What are those things that inspired you to become a diplomat, and what your experiences are so far in all of the places that you have been as a diplomat?
Thank you. Um, as you stated, I grew up in Brooklyn, New York City, a very uh, big as you all know, huge city, similar to Lagos. When I was a very young man, I joined the United States Air Force, and the first location that they sent me to in the Air Force was a little small town in a place called Nobster, Missouri, with a population of 1,500 people. So here it is. I grew up in this big city, and I end up in this small town. But when I joined the Air Force, it broadened my horizons of the world. It enriched it really opened up my eyes to the possibilities of the world. It also quenched my thirst for education. I think education is a key that really truly opens up the doors to the world. I think the process of learning is something that we should never stop. So when I joined the military, I was very fortunate. I had a very good commander, and he insisted that all in his unit pursue higher education. So I started going to school while I was in the military and finished when I got out of the military. And I spent 4 years on active duty in the U.S. Air Force and got out. And I subsequently joined the Sheriff's Department. And I was with that department for several years. And one day, one of my supervisors said, "Hey, there is a job fair at the university that you attended, and we would like you to go there to recruit for our department." Okay, I thought it was a great honor. I put my uniform on. I had my my bars. I had my big hat on. And when I got to this job fair, I was recruiting people, and the booth next to me happens to be the United States Department of State Diplomatic Security Service. And so the people in that booth, we were both engaging. We were both trying to recruit college students to our various departments. And I began to talk to the gentleman in the booth, and he says, "Hey, have you ever thought about becoming a diplomat?" Now, mind you, I'm at this event to recruit. So, needless to say, at that event, I end up getting recruited. The gentleman who I spoke to that day, he told me about being a diplomat and having the ability to travel the world and really make a difference. And it was something that truly resonated me with that day. And I said to myself, "Oh, this will take such a long time to get this job, and oh, I don't know." And I left that day, and I actually said, "No, it's going to be too much trouble." And the gentleman called me a week later and said, "Please take the test." So there were a multitude of different tests that you had to take in this process, written exemplars, a multitude of various different interviews. And as I'm here, I subsequently passed everything. And I became a special agent for the United States Department of State Diplomatic Security Service in 2003, serving my first assignment at the Washington, D.C. Field Office, investigating passport fraud, visa fraud, and related crimes, oftentimes related to things such as drug interdiction. And I did that for several years. From there, I served on a task force at one of the international airports, which was a drug interdiction task force. And from there, I served on the Secretary of State's protective detail. And I've had numerous assignments over the last 2 decades that have taken me from Asia to Africa to the Middle East and to Europe. And of course, as a son of Nigeria, This is my second tour in Nigeria. I first served in Nigeria in 2014, and I was fortunate enough to be given an opportunity to return back to my ancestral roots in 2020, which 2023. And so here I am, I say back at home. It's good to see everybody. You're welcome. And so thank you.
Thank you, Shaun. So we have some questions coming in for you. And our audience from just asking how in doing your job, you have been able to foster unity among the different indigenous populations and at the same time able to respect and preserve their cultural identities, especially in country like Nigeria, where we have diverse cultures, religion, and all that. What has been some of the success that you have recorded while carrying out your job in terms
I
of, fostering
Person
unity?
unity. I think that's a really, really good question. And I think one of the most important things is when you are trying to bring people together, number one, you have to be very respectful of their cultures. There is no one culture that is better than the other. There is no identity that is better than the other. And so I think you have to one start from a position of respect, and you also have to start from a position of knowledge. As they say, you should know your audience. And I think a lot of time we deal with things such as conflict mitigation, which I've dealt with from everywhere from Iraq to Mozambique to Nigeria. And when you're trying to bring two different groups together, again, as I say, it's very important that you know the history of both groups. You know the background of some of the conflict, which is also something I did in Sudan. And when you're trying to bring people together, it's very important that one learns the nuance of utilizing language that resonates for both parties. I think a lot of times we find ourselves communicating, we're saying the same things, but we're saying it in a different manner. So I'm saying it from my perspective, you're seeing it from your perspective, and we don't meet eye to eye. So I think it's very, very important to speak language that resonates with both parties and then helps those parties understand, listen, both of you all have a stake. We are all stakeholders. So how do we work together to resolve this problem for all of us? I think also a lot of times people look at their differences and we highlight our differences when in reality there are very few things that really differentiate us. When you look at the true core, we are the human family. We want to have the best things for our families. We want to be able to get a proper education. We want to eat well, we want to sleep well. We want to be sheltered. We all want the same thing. So I think it's that process of always finding that shared language that speaks to our commonalities rather than the differences that we always tend to uplift. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Shaun. We have another one which is more towards your personal life as a diplomat who often relocate frequently and then you travel from one country to the other, as we have seen you do in your bio. So how does this lifestyle actually impact, how does your work life actually impact your personal life? And what are some of the challenges that diplomats encounter?
I think one of uh, the big challenges with the life of a diplomat is that honestly, the work never stops. You literally are busy, 12 to 16 hours a day. So you may spend the day in the embassy or the day meeting with your partners, and then you have another several hours of people calling you on the phone, with questions and assistance. So it's a job that really encompasses a lot of your time. And you have to have a very supportive family to understand that we are here for a mission, we're here for a job, and that your spouse and your children have to be understanding of that. But we also, as the diplomat, we have to also have a balance of work and family life. But I will admit, sometimes it's very, very difficult. We are extremely, extremely busy.
Thank you again for that. Looks like quite a number of questions are coming in for you.
No worries, no worries.
So we have another one from all the way from Benin City,
Uh,
and they quite acknowledge that you have a very rich resume, and they want to know some of your winning tips and how you've been able to achieve some of your dreams to help them in also working towards achieving their own dreams.
Very good question. As I said, I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. I didn't come from a family of wealthy people. I would probably say that my family was probably right on the cusp of maybe poverty to almost trying to reach middle class. I grew up in a very tough part of New York City. But one thing that my family always instilled in me was a thirst for education, a thirst for knowledge. So even as a very young person, I was always very studious. I always wanted to know about the world. I was always somebody very attuned to the media and the news and what was happening around the world. I always wanted to make a difference. These things were always a part of my makeup. And again, I grew up in an environment where crime was very, very prevalent. Poverty was prevalent. It was a tough environment. It was, in fact, I grew up in the Flatbush section of Brooklyn, which is a very multi-ethnic and diverse community. It's almost like the Caribbean and Africa of Brooklyn. Everybody in that environment came from different parts of the world. And as I said, I had this thirst for knowledge. And so my first opportunity to really get out of New York City was in the military. And the military took me to places such as Japan and various parts of the United States. It took me to Korea, the Philippines, and a lot of different things. And that began to show me that there was a much larger world out there beyond New York City. I think a lot of times when we live in our own communities, particularly when we grow up in disadvantage and tough circumstances, we think those circumstances define us, and we oftentimes don't know what resources that we can utilize to get out of that and change our circumstances. And as I said before, I think one of the main keys is education. Don't take education lightly. Don't take the teachers that are trying to impart knowledge on you as a hindrance. Know immediately that this is, as I said earlier, this is a key. Education is a key that will open up a world of opportunity and that will open up so many doors and possibilities to the world. And I think it was, joining the military, giving me that opportunity to see, but it was that thirst for knowledge to never stop learning that has propelled me. I remember when I was going to grad school at night, and my buddies used to tease me because I was working at the time. And it's like, wait, you going back to school for what? I mean, what's that going to do for you? And they mocked and scorned me, and they was like, oh, you don't more education for what? But it was that advanced education that gave me greater opportunities down the road. And when I found myself traveling around the world, and then I would go back and see my old coworkers, and there were a couple opportunities. They saw me on television representing the department. Then they understood the power of that education that they scorned and mocked at the time. Thank you.
Thank you very much again, Shaun, for emphasis on education. I think you made mention of education several times, and they say knowledge is power
Absolutely.
every year. So I think that's the key word for everyone listening today, that education is key, education is powerful, and education can give you a lot of opportunities where you didn't even expect that such opportunities will come from. So thank you for that keyword on education. There's a fun question here asking about your time in Nigeria. Lagos is saying this is your second time here in Nigeria, second tour. That what opportunities have you seen for young people in Nigeria? They also want to know your favorite Nigerian meal and some of your Nigerian outfit. They're curious to know if you have some Nigerian outfit as well. So over to you.
So as I said, it is an absolute honor to be back home in Nigeria. And as we say in Niger, I am home. So it is a wonderful thing for me to be back. And I think in terms of the opportunities, I mean, I think all of us can see across the country, there is a lot of development. It may not often be moving as fast as many of you all would like, but all across the country, we can see that there is great development, there is opportunities. I think even this American Spaces Corner is an opportunity for you to see the possibilities of what you can achieve and what you can and do in life. In terms of my favorite foods, I love everything. I know that Nigerian jollof is the best jollof. It is not Ghana. It is not anywhere else. It is Nigerian. It is agusi. These are all of my pounded yam,
Ooh.
my fufu. These are all of my favorites. And in terms of clothing, anybody who knows me here at the embassy knows that I have a multitude of local attire. In fact, I asked my wife today, I said, should I wear a local attire today or wear a suit and tie? She said, well, wear a suit and tie because you are representing America. And if you wear a local attire, they're like, is this guy really from the American embassy? So I put on a suit and tie just for you all today. But normally I would be in local attire with my hat on. So thank you. Did I answer all of the questions?
Okay. Yeah, we have quite a number of questions,
Hmm.
but I wanted to
No, I mean
emphasize
from the
that.
last question, did I answer all of the parts of that question?
Oh, sure. Yeah, you did. So thank you for sharing us on the Nigerian jollof again. So I'm sure Ghana has lost the fight on that. So we
Absolutely.
appreciate you for that support. So
If I may say one thing, I was just in Ghana a month ago, and
okay.
my wife and I were eating the jollof. And as we were eating the Ghanaian jollof, I said, why is this now? Is this, hey, it was not jollof. I don't even know why they call that jollof. That was not jollof rice in Ghana. This is where the best jollof is at, for sure.
Okay. Thank you for that, Sean,
Mhm.
again. So um back to the question on unity in diversity also from Maiduguri. This question is from American Space in Maiduguri, Borno State. It says, building unity requires personal effort, commitment, and understanding by all. So having stayed for some time in Nigeria and in view of insecurity issues in almost all parts of the country, to what extent will you say that this has affected unity and in diversity in Nigeria?
Um, I'll have to be very, very frank. In Nigeria, I see oftentimes many the differences are very, very highlighted. Whether one is Hausa, whether one is Fulani or Yoruba or Igbo, people oftentimes see themselves as very, very intrinsically different because of cultural norms. So you often hear sometimes, oh, I don't trust those people because those people are this, or no, these people are violent. And I think one of the things I think is important for us to look at is the historical legacies that have highlighted and intensified these things that we see that make us so different. And I don't think any nation or anywhere in the world can be successful when the people are not able to come together in collective unity. If me being Muslim or you being Christian, if we are not able to come together as a collective people for the good of our nation, the good of our communities, we will always be stagnated. We will always be stagnated and we will always be behind. When we have that ability, as I said, to rise above our differences and look at those things that unite us. Again, whether we are Igbo or Yoruba, I always make the comment that if you took 10 of us right now and the 10 of us got on a plane, went right now, and we went to anywhere outside of the continent, no one would identify you as Igbo. Nobody would identify you as Yoruba. Nobody would identify you as Hausa. Nobody would identify you as a Muslim or a Christian. They would say, oh, the Africans have just arrived. And so we put a lot of things that separate us, but there are so many things that bring us together. As I said, all of us want peace. All of us want unity. All of us want to thrive. All of us want to create a prosperous nation, a prosperous world that can facilitate a good life for our families. And so we have to focus on those things that unite us. And then when we look at those things that we say makes us different, we also need to know the historical background of where comes these rivalries and where comes this separation. So as I say, unity is the cornerstone of success. And we have seen this example played out over and over again around the world. Whenever you have people who are divided and disunited, they're in constant conflict. And when you are in constant conflict, you can never focus on the important things. When we come together in the unity and we are not worried about instability because we are a stable people, man, progress comes overnight. We can achieve the impossible when we are together. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You made mention of no matter how much hard you try, you always find, people who are in constant conflict.
Mm.
For a diverse country like Nigeria, how do you manage such groups who are intolerant, for example?
That's a really good, that's also a very important question. Um, One of the things that when you travel across the continent, the temperament, and I don't want to stereotype, you will find that there are different temperaments in different countries. So you may go to Ghana and seemingly the temperament seems to be a little bit milder, a little bit more quiet, reserved. And then let's say Nigeria, seemingly we seem to be very robust, very outgoing. When you find the dialogue sometimes between Nigerians is very um, invigorating. It's invigorating. And so people oftentimes can talk loudly. And when people begin to talk loudly to one another, it makes you speak louder. So if you talk loud to me, then I will speak. I said, why is this now? I said, do you know who I am? And so we go through these kind of things where as we uplift ourselves over everyone else. And sometimes when we are trying to facilitate these dialogues, we have to come back to the comment. It's not about who you are or who I am. It is who we are as a people. And so when we do these conflict mitigation summits and bringing people together in conferences, we have to bring it back to what is the problem? What is the core problem? Why are we in conflict? Okay, so if it is a herder conflict, then we have to be able to get people back to the root problem. If we are talking about crime, then we have to get to the root of, okay, we're saying that this group of people are responsible for crime. Are they economically disadvantaged? Is there a lack of opportunity for them? Is there a lack of education amongst the collective of the group? And so it's always important to get back to the root. I think a lot of times we deal with the surfaces of a lot of our problems, but we don't look at the root cause, the root problem. And in order to solve any problem, we go back to mathematics. We have to go back to the root. And so when we get to the root of what our problems is, that's when dialogue can form. When we get people to temper down emotions and temper down feelings and just talk as people, as human family, we can solve anything. We can resolve anything, but it's important to have those interlocutors that can communicate across both sides. That's what's so important. We need the right we need those people who have the ability to serve as a mediator in between. And that's just not us as diplomats. That's you, that's you, that's you, and that's you. When you see people arguing and you see conflict, you must be the peacemaker. You don't stand to the sides and watch. You must stand up and be that leader. Thank you.
Thank you, Shaun. The takeaway is everybody should be a peacemaker, and for everyone to be able to manage a group of people. Again, you said education is key, and it's very important to also dialogue to be able to understand one another and then to be able to address each problem from the root. So
Absolutely.
thank you very much for that. So my next question will be on life in the US. So a lot of the young Nigerians really want to know some unique destinations that Nigerians could go to in the US, especially based on your experiences traveling. I'm sure you've traveled around the US too. So maybe you could give some suggestions about some fun places that, or even places where they could have a lot of fun and then learning at the same time in the US.
Excellent. America is a very beautiful nation. It's very, very diverse. The terrain, the topography changes from many parts of the country to the other. I've been fortunate enough to live in many different parts of America, from New York City to Maryland to Florida to California to Hawaii. And my favorite places in the United States is by far is probably California. California is a very unique culture in that people are very easygoing in California. It's kind of a very relaxed atmosphere. People are very warm, very inviting, and the weather is very, very. It's beautiful. It's a very temperate weather. It's mountainous. It's beautiful beaches. It's beautiful communities. So I like California. Hawaii is also, it's like the ability to travel to a island but have all of the amenities of a very well-developed nation. So Hawaii is absolutely stunning. And of course, I have to bring you back to my home state of New York City. New York City has everything. It has the skyscrapers, it has beautiful parks, it has beautiful museums, it has beautiful culture. And New York City truly is a melting pot of the world. Everybody is in New York. If you are looking for the best Nigerian restaurant, you will find it in New York. If you're looking for the best Jamaican restaurant, Trinidadian, you will find it in New York. The best Chinese, the best Korean, New York has a little bit of everything for everybody. But just like every major city like Lagos, you have to be careful in a big city like New York. You have to watch your environment. And then, of course, there are places like Houston, Texas, which I say is the Lagos of America, because there is such a huge Nigerian community in Houston that are thriving and doing very, very well. And I'm not sure if the audience knows this, but today, the most successful immigrant group in the United States today are Nigerian Americans. The most educated immigrant group in America today is Nigerian Americans. So Nigerians are doing extremely well in America. And again, it goes back to that cornerstone, which has actually been education, excuse me. Nigerians, understand that you never stop learning. And so it's not unusual to meet with Nigerian family members and others in Nigeria. And this one is a doctor, this one is a PhD, this one is an attorney, this one is an engineer. That is the norm. That is very, very, very normal. And people are doing extremely well. So those are some of the places that I would recommend. And then also I have a home in Florida. Florida is also great. You have the great city of Miami. You have the great city of Tampa. The weather is temperate and somewhat similar in the summertime to Abuja. But America's a very diverse nation, and there are many wonderful states that I didn't mention. If you like to hike, there's Montana, which my son and I went to last summer to go hiking in, and we hiked for a week in Montana, and it's stunning. It's stunning. So I invite you all to America.
Okay, thank you, Shaun. I'm going to take a pause. I'm going to give you a few minutes and maybe turn to the American spaces who are listening to us. Now, I will ask this question to see if it's Shaun asking everyone there the question. So anybody from the spaces can actually respond. If you were to sell Nigeria to Shaun, I mean, in terms of telling him some of the fun places that he could go to in Nigeria, what will you recommend for Shaun? So let's hear you from any of the corners. Do you want to talk to Shaun about some fun places in Nigeria that he should visit? Please don't talk about Abuja. He knows Abuja very well. I guess he
And
knows
Lagos.
Lagos too. So let's give him another option somewhere. So anybody from the spaces, please.
And please now, don't be shy.
Yes. You heard him. Meduguri, Sokoto. Anyone?
Now you all being shy. How will we get you to America? You can't be shy in America. You have to be outgoing. Now, who is the first
Bauchi.
brave person? Who is the first brave person that will ask a question or tell me about something wonderful here?
Okay. Let's hear from someone from any of the spaces. Bauchi, I saw what you sent, but I want you to speak. Okay, looks like we have someone from Sokoto.
Excellent.
Go ahead. Oh, okay. Let's go with Sokoto first. You need to unmute your microphone, Sokoto. Sokoto is
Go ahead
muted.
and do it again.
Okay.
Sokoto, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yes.
All right. Good morning, sir. Good morning, colleagues.
Good
Good morning,
morning.
colleagues. And yeah, okay. My name is Aliu Yahya Ibrahim from American State here in Sokoto. My question is that you talk about dialogue in fostering, peace in. So, is there any or another way of, you know, key that we can use to, foster peace in community or in a situation where there is conflict? Because in 2011, I was in Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. Then I was a student, and there is riots or political riots that where you see different people. We are living in different peoples, but what's happening is that we are living in the area that is Muslim and Christian, but what's happening is that there is conflict between Muslim and Christian because of then it's during that they say is Bahari win or good luck win. So when we're having that, then the military send guard to protect the community along the line that thing is not continue again, but they have to call different parents for that voice that caused the conflict, that they should sit down together in one Islamia, they call it Islamia schools. It is school in the evening time. So that's where we sat down there. We discussed that we need to talk to our people, that we should live in peace. And what I want is that, is there any another way that we can, as in so a way to bring peace apart from this dialogue? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sokoto. Thank you, Sokoto.
I think you have already done the beginnings, and because the beginning is always dialogue. And when you look around the world, and oftentimes when you see where change is facilitated with young people just like yourself. And when you can get the young people united and energized to bring about change, guess what? The older folks will follow suit, because you all are the leaders of tomorrow. So if you all can reconcile your differences, if you all can unite, if you all can work together for one common cause, you will lead the way, because you are the future of Nigeria. You are tomorrow. And so when you can make those changes, you all know when there are issues where your parents are incorrect. All of us grew up and heard our parents say things that today we know are not correct. And so it's up to us to not continue a path of things that we inherently know aren't correct. You know that you all have a friend that belongs to a different group or a different religion, and you know they don't fall into the stereotypes that you have heard all your life. And so the change starts with you all. But the first step is dialogue, to get us to begin to conversate and find out what are our root problems and how do we then begin to resolve them.
Thank
So
you,
you're doing the
Shaun.
right thing. You made the first right step.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm still asking the question, what do we want to tell Shaun, or what recommendations of fun places do we have for him here in Nigeria? He has given us the US version. He has responded to all of our questions. So it's now time for us to actually tell Shaun about Nigeria. Yes, Joss. Let's hear from you,
Good morning.
Joss. Thank
Yes,
you.
good morning, sir. Good morning, colleagues. I was going to suggest Yankari Game Reserve in Bauchi State, where you have abundance of wildlife and the warm spring as a place to unwind here
Okay.
in the northern part of the country. Thank you.
Okay. And I can bring the
Have
whole
you heard of
family with me?
Yankari?
Oh,
It's a
sure,
great,
you can bring the whole family with you.
okay.
They would
Excellent.
Okay.
really love it. Yes.
Excellent.
Okay. Any other space? Bauchi, so we have Joss recommending the Yankari Game Reserve to Shaun. Joss, is there no way you can recommend for Shaun in Joss again?
Okay, in Jos, I'll recommend Miango Guest Home, Miango Rest
Okay.
Home. It's a peaceful place where you can just unwind with your family. They have a dining catering service that is similar to what you would find in America, because it's
Oh,
American missionaries that manage the place. It's called Miango Rest Home. It's
Yango.
in the countryside in Plateau State, Nigeria. Thank you.
thank you very much, American Space Jazz. We're going to be rounding up soon, so I will come back to Shaun and ask for what else he was to talk to Nigerians about as a diplomat, some of the opportunities he has enjoyed, and what it actually means to be a diplomat for those young people who are planning to go into the foreign mission and all that in Nigeria.
What I would, before I respond, I would like to know if is there anybody in any of the American corners that wants to be a diplomat and serve your nation around the world? Does anybody want to be a diplomat? Does anybody want to be a doctor? And remember, when you're looking at this diplomatic world, there are a multitude of different careers within this sphere. There are people who work in the field of politics, people who work in the field of management, consular affairs, security, law enforcement. There are public diplomacy. There are a wealth of different jobs. We have people who work in this field that are doctors, that are nurses. There are a wealth of opportunities, and I'm sure will be the same for the Nigerian government. Can somebody tell me what are some of the careers that some of the students would like to pursue in life? Does anybody want to share? Man, I want to get this guy right in the American space in Bauchi. He has, it looks like a white shirt on, and he's sitting right in between three young ladies, four young ladies. Yes, you. Tell me, what do you want to do? Yes. Tell me a little bit about yourself and what do you want to do with your career?
I'm what I want to do so that I want to be a doctor.
The doctor. What type of medicine do you want to practice? So you just want to be a general doctor?
I want to be a doctor, like doctor. I want to help children who have dentists.
You want to allow, I'm sorry, can you say that again?
I say I want to be a dentist so that I can help little children who have dental problems.
Okay, you will do that. You don't say I want to be, you will accomplish that. You stay focused, you come up with a plan, and you will accomplish that. Now, if I can get the Muslim all the way to the left of you, Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah barakatuh. Yes, I want her to tell me what is her plans. With the glasses.
My name is Fatima Mustafa.
Yes, Fatima.
Space Bauchi. I run business administration. I'm a small business owner. I want to work on, I read business administration. I have a degree in library and information science. I want to pursue something within this line of my academics. I want to go into there's this AI now at data analysis. This is what I want to do now.
Excellent. And that's a very thriving technology, and that is a technology that is actually the future of the world. So that's incredible. That's incredible. All right, let me look around. Let's look at the American spaces in Maiduguri. We got that one gentleman that is talking right there in the front. Let's hear from him. Yep, you. You. Anybody in that group? Let's hear from that group.
Okay. Yeah, please go ahead. Good morning. Can you all hear me?
Okay, I can't see. Can we hear that group? That group? Okay, we got those four young men.
Go ahead. Just keep go ahead. Good morning. Can you hear me now?
Sir. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, my name is Sani, and I am a student in the Department of Mathematics. I'm a final year student. So
excellent.
I being my career as a mathematician to complete, because I'm in final year, obviously. I want to be a person that can influence others. I don't think government work is something I want to do, because at the end of the day, I'm a person that wants to be traveling around, going see places, and then working at the same time. So including that is my goal.
Excellent.
And being a mathematician, I know I can maybe just get a government job and stay maybe one place without, I cannot do the work. Like, I'll feel like I have not fulfilled my purpose
in life.
in general. Yes.
Right.
So I am looking forward to be, no, I am currently a designer at a firm. It's small, but yeah, we are getting there. So,
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. Does anybody behind you want to talk?
Okay.
No.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
Okay.
We'll round up with you. So you have 1 minute. Thank you.
That was a wonderful introduction and explanation about your career so far. And currently, I'm a student, 200 level student, computer engineering. I would like to talk more on a bit of the technological advancement. Though in Nigeria, we are not that opportune for all those stuff, the technological stuff. But I believe currently we are achieving and we are harnessing the talent that's coming up in Nigeria. There's a lot of talent, especially in the AI, the digital sector that's coming up now. We believe we'll reach them and we'll catch that level. Thank you, sir.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much.
So as we round up, thank you everyone for participating in this Speak with a Diplomat program brought to you courtesy of American Spaces Nigeria. Thank you, American Space Bauchi. We have Ikeja. We have Window on America from Uyo. We have American Center Lagos. We have American Center Jos. We have Mina. We have Window on America Gombe. We have American Space Kano. We have Window on America Benin. We have Window on America Oka. And apologies if I didn't mention you, and a host of others who also joined us via Facebook. We want to thank you for your time. Most especially, we want to thank Shaun today for sharing some of his personal and work experiences with us. We really learned a lot from you, especially talking about fostering unity amidst diversity. And we will do some of the action words that you encourage us to do. And we appreciate you being with us. So thank you, everybody. And
Thank you.
have a wonderful.
Before they go, can I make one closing?
Sure.
And I just want to say to the students that know your purpose in life. There are some things that you all know intrinsically that you are good at, that you want to do. As a young man, I knew that I wanted to help people. This is something that's intrinsic in me. Know your purpose in life. Never stop dreaming. If you can see it, you can achieve it. If you can visualize where you want to be at in life, you can do it. Never stop dreaming. Never stop opening your eyes to new possibilities. Unite with one another. You guys are the future. When you all unite, the country, you will lead the way in the country. Nigeria is a great, great, great nation full of amazing people. I want you all to be a part of that takes a Nigeria to be the leader and the forefront of not only the continent, but the world. It is all on you. Thank you so much. There's one quick saying that says that it is the law of love that liberates the human spirit. It says, for when I love my brother or sister, I cannot rob my brother or sister. When I love my brother, I cannot be envious or jealous over their success. I applaud their success, for their success is my success. Love does not puff us up to make us proud. Peacock, love makes us humble to serve one another. Let's serve one another. You all are the future. You are great. You can do it all. Thank you so much. It was an honor.
Thank you, Shaun, for that powerful closing. And thank you for sharing some of the positives with the young people all across Nigeria. We really appreciate you being on this program. And thank you to everyone. Have a good day, and we look forward to having you in our next month episode of Speak with a Diplomat. Again, my name is Grace Lamont, American Center Director, Abuja, and have a good afternoon.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.